There you go. All right. This will fit. Should fit. Let's see. Come on, baby. It should fit. It should fit. If I say it enough times, it'll fit, right? How this works. It didn't work out. Oh, I didn't like it. It's mad. It's mad at me. There we go. Boy, I'm having issues today. All right. Well, there we go. Today, I am headed to the shop. I was going to take today off, but sometimes tier 1 is on time or not, and I have to go tune it. So in this case, they got it done really fast, actually. And they need me to tune it, put a bass amp on it, but something's running me. I don't know what's up, but I'm hoping that we figure out what it is, because whatever it is could be the cause for the failure in the first place. It is windy as balls today. Well, I'm not really sure what that means as I think about that. How much wind do balls have? So today it's a 2021 or 2020 STI DOM3 afternoon. Is it afternoon? It is afternoon by 5 minutes. DOM3 front mount 1300s ethanol. It's only got a 340 fuel pump though, so we're gonna. Well, today's only going to be a bass map and a little bit of troubleshoot on it and stuff. It's not going to be full DynoTune today or anything. And as I said a minute ago, before everybody started showing up, was that I'm hoping that I figure out what the hell's going on with it. Put a bass map on it, which is just a slight modification of his last map, and the car still runs funny. It didn't run funny before, so I got to figure out why. Hoping that whenever I find issue-wise, it did a smoke test, so I don't think it's going to be a vacuum leak, but some sort of issue with something somewhere. I'm going to figure it out. Hopefully it points me into why the damn thing failed in the first place. That'd be really handy. I'd like to know that. I might just start from scratch on the tune all over again and see if it does the same shit. I've had tunes. It only happens in transfer. It doesn't happen like over time. This isn't like tunes don't change, right? Like people are like, oh, my tune got bad, or I want to say I reached the end of my tune. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but no, they don't go bad. But in file transfer, sometimes you can get a corruption. I had one tune that I wrote. This was many years ago. Just a simple thing, like ID 1000s and a fucking DOM 15 and a top mount and the cob intake, right? Like the easiest thing ever to do. And it would like misfire and die all the time. That's weird. So I went through the map line by line, every freaking table, compared to other tables, compared to stock, and like it didn't make any sense as to why it would die. And then my friend Travis sent a map. Actually, no. And I showed Travis, hey, dude, look at my map. You see anything weird? He goes, no, that's really weird. So Travis sent a map, and the car ran fine. Like, that's really weird. So I started from scratch, then another tune over, and the car ran fine. So something happened in the sending of that map. And I even did like a compare, because it has a really cool compare feature between my second tune and my first one. There were no differences, but for some reason it wouldn't run on one of them. So something, somewhere, somehow got corrupted. Now, There's no chance that that's what happened to this car. In my opinion, I can't see that happening unless this new base map somehow got corrupted. And I'm sure some people have seen some of that too with when they you guys can see data issues, data corruption, and data when you see like a logged value when someone has like it reads 58 psi on their access port. Well, shit. Obviously, they didn't. So we couldn't have read that in the first place. And got like, my car's fucked up. I got 58 pounds of boost. I'm like, bro, like your car has no ability to read 58 pounds of boost, so it isn't that, right? There's some sort of issue. You know, there's data issue. You know, collisions and packet loss and all types of things can happen during a transfer of a file. So there's supposed to be a check. I forget how they call it, where the it's fucked up, where it goes through and verifies the integrity of the file and that kind of stuff afterwards. But that stuff doesn't always work. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll start from scratch on a new one, see if it still runs funny. If it does, then I'm going to be looking at a lot of data logs and trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with this thing. Why is it acting funny? Because it should not be hard to idle a car on 1300s. They're like an amazing injector, one of the best injectors ever made. If not the best injector ever made. They're the most linear, they're the most precise, the most consistent. Like the ID1300 is the best fucking injector ever made, in my opinion. And I say my opinion only because I would have to go through every other injector ever made to see. But in the experience, there's no injector that flows that much fuel that behaves as nearly flawlessly as that one. There's injectors that flow less than that, significantly less than that perform way worse. Even ID's own injectors perform much worse than the 1300. 1300 is just amazing. So that's not a hard injector to tune on. And it responds really, really well to changes in fuel pressure. Not every injector gains as much fuel flow with changes in fuel pressure. Yo, dude, what's up? Due to like internal geometry of or internal construction of the injector, the increase in pressure doesn't always yield the same amount of increase in flow. The 13, man, you should add a few pounds to it. It's a 17. It's more than a few pounds, but you know what I'm saying. Like you don't have to add much for it to flow 1700 cc's. So today I'm actually using a different phone as my camera. I have my primary phone that you guys get to hear ringing all the time and blowing eardrums out. And I decided not to use that phone anymore. I figured it'd be easier for me to be able to maintain a stream when someone calls me or texts me without completely destroying your eardrums as well. So it's a different phone. It's my secondary. It's actually the business phone. I've been streaming from my personal phone. So this is the business phone I'm streaming from. So hopefully when the ringer goes off, it'll sound just as loud to you as it does to me and not like banshees screaming in your ear. Start pull up on a construction zone here. This is my drive right now. They're widening this road. They're making it a 4-lane freaking highway. And I can stop. Yeah, stop like that. I know. I can read the fucking sign, you dumbass. Give me the finger. Like, oh, hold on a second. Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. Jesus. Anyways. I'm even going to stay here and let it clear a little bit. As long as this fucking light takes. Anyways. Anyways, they're putting a big old 4-lane highway here. It was just a little 2-laner. But they've been trying to divert traffic around Hayden in Coeur d'Alene because there's a lot of people that go up to, Bayview and Lake Pend Oreille and Sandpoint and that kind of stuff. And they have to go down 95 through Hayden, through Coeur d'Alene to get on I-90. And the congestion in that region has just gotten obscene. So they're widening 53 and 41 to create a viable bypass, which is great for people living in Coeur d'Alene Hayden. They're not going to deal with so much traffic, and so I'm happy for them. It's not so great for this area now because they're developing like crazy, and it was just fields, and now it's just homes everywhere. And it sucks because most of it was farmland, and now it's no longer farmland. And so that always breaks my heart when we lose farmland. Um, let's see, yeah, it always breaks my heart when we lose farmland. Someone's got to grow the food for us, right? You can't just go to the store and buy it. It's not made at the store. But yeah, it's just construction like crazy up here. Property values go up to the fucking roof thanks to this lumber bullshit that's going on. I don't know if you guys have noticed much of this lumber pricing being 3 times the normal rate for a board. It's insane, absolutely insane. It's unfreaking acceptable in my opinion. I think people need to hang for it because there's no shortage. I went by the mills actually a couple days ago. The mills have more lumber piled up than I've ever seen on both ends of the mill, on the bare logs and its completed lumber. They're loving this $50 for a sheet of fucking OSB. Well, all that's doing is creating a different class. Again, it's pushing the middle class further down. It's pushing the upper class further up. It's making homes unaffordable for people. And it's driving native Idahoans into apartments. Right? These say, yeah, I'm out of 100,000 in a year. Yeah, 250. That's even crazier. Right? It's insane. Like, I place up 100,000 in a year. My house is a fucking manufactured home. Right? I live in a manufactured home. It's technically a double wide. That's what I live in technically. Right? And that fucking thing up 100,000. Like, what the fuck? Only because it costs so much more to replace it now. So, that's silly. I mean, also because I got the property at 10 acres, right? So they'll obviously add it to the value too as the market up. You know, there's still acreage ain't a whole lot without a house on it. So these fucking lumber asshole companies who jack stuff up claiming shortages. There ain't no fucking shortage. And they're making people that live in Idaho, that were from Idaho, born and work in Idaho, unable to live in Idaho any longer. People are selling their homes, selling their apartments. You know, the guys that are renting stuff in the house, they can no longer afford to rent a house anymore. They get pushed in these apartments. And who's building the apartments? The same rich fuckers that are buying all the property and shit for an extremely high price, pushing them out. So it's like they're coming in and literally creating their own freaking class system over here and pushing Idahoans out of their homes. They found out that Idaho doesn't tax your retirement income. And so all these fuckers are selling their places in California like, fuck, I get my retirement income, no tax. So they're selling their house down there, buying up here for whatever the fuck people want for them, driving the whole market up so they can live without their retirement income being taxed. Well, they're not fucking welcome, let me tell you. It sucks. Like, grew up here in the 90s, everything was really, really awesome. I loved it. Small town feel, everything was really good. And then I disappear, join the military. I'm gone. 19 years later, come back, and it's like my home has been taken from me. It's ridiculous how crazy it's been. But you guys don't care about that shit, right? You're here to talk about tuning and cars and stuff. So there's a car meet going on at the brewery by the shop, by Tier 1, on Saturday at 5 in the afternoon or evening, however you look at it. So 5 p.m., there's a car meet at Snow Eater Brewery in Liberty Lake. I think it's like 2325 North McKenzie Lane, Liberty Lake, Washington 99019. If you can plug that into your navigation. I have no idea who's going to be there. I have no idea if it's going to be a good crowd or a bad crowd. I don't know if it's going to be domestics or imports. The guy that posted, I think, has a Euro. So it could be freaking anything, really. That'll be the day after my snippy snip, so I'm not sure if I'll be up for it or not. I'll let you guys know if I'm going to that shit. I don't have anything to drive. Everything's taken apart. Everything's taken apart, except for the red STI. Oh, my car's mad at me. That's why I bumped the park button. Yeah, the RS has got a 5-pack in it, but it's a really, 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 really old 5-pack, so it doesn't have anything hooked up to it, no features enabled on it. So I put a base map on like 10 minutes just so I can move it across the yard, but it's not in a condition to drive. There's no gauges, there's no O2 sensor, there's nothing on it, so that's not going to work. Yeah, red STI, I just don't like it. So many things are off the wall. Yeah, man, things are crazy off the wall. And hello, whoever's popping in and popping my screen for only a second or so. Yeah, I just don't like driving it. It's got a clutch that I fucking hate, and it's got a fuel system that barely works, so it just stays in my house. I don't want to fucking drive it. I want to deal with that shit. I got so much other stuff on my plate. The Corvette, I think you guys have seen that, right? The drivetrain is sitting on the ground. I just brought the engine home yesterday. I was going to work on that today, but Tier 1 needs my assistance with their car. So I was going to work on my Corvette today. The short block is built. Nick built it. And we're going to put that in the vet. So we'll see how I'm feeling this weekend, if I'm up for working on it or not. But my goal is to design a workbench system or something, because I have no workbench in my house yet. This shit's so expensive. Like, holy fuck. Whoops, that's weird. I'm hitting the button here, nothing's happening. There it is. It's so freaking expensive, right? I just want to build a workbench. But if I want 6 feet of like butcher block to stick on a shelf that I already have to act as a workbench, it's $200 for a 6 foot piece by 2. What the fuck? If I want just like a laminate countertop, which works good for a workbench, right? Just a plain old laminate countertop. That same piece, 6 feet's like $120 right now. It's insanity. I get a stainless steel table for $360, but it's thin stainless steel. It dents really easy. So I'm at that stage where I'm in denial. I want everything to go down. I don't want to buy anything, because I know as soon as I buy it, it's either going to go down or it's just stay the fucking same. I don't know. My luck though, it would go down. Like I'd buy a whole set. Like fuck it, get all my benches purchased and everything, and the next day be like, and Weyerhaeuser decides they're tired of fucking everyone in the ass. They decide to lower prices a bit, and I'd be like, nah, it figures. My wife said I ain't hurt and buy this shit, so the market will drop. But she knows that's how my luck is. But yeah, it's stupid expensive. I got a solid core door as your bench top. Yeah, I mean, the solid core door is also $200-something bucks. And I can't have 6 windows or 6 single panels in that bitch. It's got to be smooth. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I'm in this stage where I need to buy something, but I don't want to. I don't want to spend the money because I'm a cheap. God damn, this thing's not working at all. Like I said, show me the chat, and it said hidden. So I'm just in denial. Just plain and simple. I'm in denial. I don't want to fucking spend the money that they want for this shit. I'm a cheap ass. It's just I'll put it out there. I know there's certain things in life you have to buy the expensive shit. That's why I run ID injectors. Yeah, everything is nuts. Solid core industrial door for $7 in the surplus store. You lucky motherfucker. 2 sheets of 1/2-inch ply in my attic. I'm thinking I'm in a lumber truck. I know. I mean, for 2 sheets of 1/2-inch ply, you're looking at freaking like $80. That's stupid. It might only be $65. I could be exaggerating. It's a lot of money. So, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy just a laminate 6-foot top to stick on one of my Costco shelves that I got to act as a bench, so that I have something. And then I'll buy a stainless steel table, probably an 8-footer. Nice rock on the windshield, love that. Like an 8-footer or an 8-footer stainless steel table. I'll buy an expensive one though, like a 16 gauge or something real thick and sturdy. So it'll cost like $800. And I'll just use those 2 for a while until I can afford to buy the other shit. I want to get that Trinity Pro Costco set. It's like an 8-piece. It's got big, heavy duty, stand-up cabinets and drawers. I need drawers. That's what I really want, those fucking drawers. I want some Vidmars, right? But Vidmars are like 10 grand for a single 5-shelf piece. They're nuts. I would love some Vidmars, or even something like that. Uline's got their own line that's strong. It's welded, constructed. It's relatively thick. I think they're 18 gauge or something like that, which is bad for a drawer setup. And they're like $2,200 for a 5-drawer cabinet. But the Costco one's like $3,300, I think it is. So this 8-piece thing. Yeah, so my hand is tingling. I actually am excited for the new STI. I'm not gonna lie. If it is in fact a FA24, if it does in fact have the D4S injection system on it, because I heard from somebody, maybe it was you, somebody, that the new, well, this is annoying. My left and right's not working. That the new STI is on the D4S. It's got the D4S and the FA24. I am super excited. I'll be buying that shit. I don't know when, because I have so much money to spend on wood right now. But I will buy that freaking STI when I can afford it. That's for sure. One, because I want to start making parts for it. Two, because I think it's going to be the biggest leap forward in an STI since the 6-speed at the STI. Nice blinker, dickbag. You motherfucker. I don't know why it's so hard to tell people that are waiting in the fucking sign where you're turning so they can go, but no, I don't want to use my blinker. I'm one hand on the fucking camera, and I'm still using my goddamn blinker. God damn. And that off-ramp there sucks to get off. It's always a nightmare. I can't hit the button for chat and top mount. The Mars are awesome. Yes, they are. When you're spending other people's money, that's the fucking truth. How to hide his body. And whose body are we talking about? Wait for a 30-year run on the new STI. Yeah, I mean, I don't have that luxury, right? As a tuner and as a parts designer, like, you have to be at the forefront. So I can't wait till the 3rd year to start making parts for the STI. That isn't good, right? That's not going to work. And the cooling mods aren't going to work because it's an FA, so I'm not going to get any money from those, right? That's not going to be any source of R&D income anymore. It's only works for EJs. So I have to, keep pushing to maintain an income so I can keep doing R&D. I've been selling a lot of cams lately, and I love it. Eventually, someday, I might actually make money on them. But right now, I'm still, with the current sales now, as the tooling costs and everything else are starting to get chipped away at by the purchases, I lose about 150 a set of cams. So I'm getting closer. Definitely getting closer. Yeah, so I don't like that. Someone just posted that I should get a customer leave the car at the shop for me. I don't like that. I don't. So Chase at Tier 1 told me I am terrible at accepting help. I'm worse at asking for it, and I'm really bad at accepting it. And he's right. I don't like it. It's hard for me. And borrowing somebody's car is... I would never loan my car to a shop to fucking do it. So, like, I would never ask anyone to do that. So I can't. I just can't do it. I'm not loaning my car to that shit, especially if it's brand new. Like, I want to drive my car. I'm not gonna just leave it to some dude to experiment on. I can't do it, so I can't do it. So, 07 STI came out. People saying it was different. I saw that it was hideous. I said, well, it's good. I get 07 anyways to learn the new stuff that changed. So I bought an 07. I'm always trying to buy. I got a Legacy GT when they first came out. I'm always trying to buy a car. I got into 335s late, but I got into them. I bought a 335 so that I could learn on it. I bought this car, the B58, so I could learn more about the B58. I don't like to experiment on other people's cars, and so I would never ask someone to leave a car there. And if someone volunteered to leave the car there, I still might not take it. I can't do that. So, yeah. I mean, AMS and bigger shops like that, if they don't buy one, they'll absolutely just be like, sure, leave it here, no problem. Like that's okay to them, you know, in their mind. But I can't do it. Let's go, buddy. Come on. It's been green for like 15 seconds. You can do it. Long seat. There you go. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. But anyways, yeah. So to continue on with that, I'm excited for the new one. I love new shit. You know, like the BRZ, right? I was gonna get really heavy in BRZ. I actually had 2 BRZs on order. And Carter Stewart was like, yeah, we're just months and months out on them. Yeah, because they were just being released. And yours is way down the line. But we have one in the shop if you want to take a look at it. So I went to Carter Subaru after hours and started taking a BRZ apart. In the showroom, I was pulling parts off it and shit and looking at stuff. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm just checking it out. And so the dude was like, he's cool. And so I was pulling panels off and taking out parts and looking under covers and, you know, pull off the intake, looking inside and all that kind of shit on the fucking showroom floor. It was hilarious. Run to my car, give me the tool, come back out. Because I wanted to be part of that BRZ thing. And then I realized that, well, they fucking suck, so I didn't get into it. They're cool if all you want's a 200 horsepower car that costs fucking 30 grand. It doesn't make any sense to me. They handle really damn good. They're like little go-karts. I'm smacking it with my freaking camera. They're like little go-karts, and that's really cool. You know, they're fun in that regard, but they don't fit. They don't really fit in with the rest of the Subaru, you know, line and everything, or the Subaru community or the crowd. There's no turbo. There's no power. There's, you know, Subaru guys, they say their all-wheel drive handling is bomb, but most of them don't even care about handling, really. You know, some do, but it just didn't fit. It wasn't a good match. I'm parking a Corvette parking spot because I own one. I'm hungry. I should get lunch. I should get lunch for the guys, that I should have done. I'm a dick. All right, we're gonna go inside. Look at this car. See what the fuck's up. I should be connecting to the tier 1 emails. Lose sound. Oh. Let me see. All right. Oh, all right. Replaying all the water lines. Oh, that sounds fun. Okay, so now I'm on the tier 1 Wi-Fi, which is a lot stronger than it used to be. It used to be like the absolute worst fucking Wi-Fi you ever experienced. I had dial-up in the 90s that was faster, but after enough harassment, Chase actually upgraded the internet here. So oh, someone text me, ask me about this car. Look at it. All right. Look at that. Here we go. See this car. Oh, laptop's with me. I think I got it here in the car. I didn't even check. I think I just assumed. All right. Let's flip this bitch around. Look at my ugly mug. Do. Oh. Ouch. I never get a day off. I'm not allowed one. Every time I try and get a day off, somebody over here calls me and asks for help. Hey, fuck all y'all. I'm just kidding. What's up? Ooh, it's purple. No, it's blue. No, it's green. I don't even know what color it is. I'm confused. Nice.
I had some other little rear wing that I had to wrap carbon fiber for a customer.
Fox P2, seeing reliable numbers in any direction. Oh, power numbers? No, I heard a mechanic that was taking a Subaru training saying that STI was like 400 horse. Suck.
Yeah, for your camera, your phone there.
Yeah, I think it'll work. It's better than my jiggly ass hand holding the shit. So,
Definitely nice for having stabilization.
although my hand did fall asleep on the way over here while I was driving, holding it. And it never fell asleep holding the phone before, so I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be weird.
That'll be definitely an interesting color to roll around with.
Yeah. Hello, Tanner.
Hold
What you doing?
on. This had whoever previously did the valve covers on it.
Mm-hmm.
The little plate that mounts to the block to the cam, and then the valve cover sits over it
Mm-hmm.
with a little whatever you want to call it. I guess the cam hole cap
Cam
that's
bridge?
exposed.
Yeah.
They didn't put silicone on it, so it leaked.
Oh, is that the same one? This is the one they did the cam seals on too?
Yeah, we had to do all the seals, cam seals.
Valve
We
cover.
did valve covers now,
And it wouldn't stop leaking.
and
Because the bridge didn't have any seal on it.
yeah, and
That's
then I
funny.
did a oil pump seal, obviously, while I was on there. And it's got new. This one has new oil pan too.
Gotcha. So lots of new parts. And this is the demon car, right?
What car?
This white one here?
Yeah,
This is the one that makes no sense?
runs super good.
Just the idle thing still weird?
A little bit. I drove it. The air fuel correction's not super bad when it's warm. It's just like on cold start,
Uh-huh.
which has air pump deletes. So,
Oh, yeah. The new ones have issues with their pump deletes.
but like I drove it to the car wash and back, and it drove perfect. I didn't get in boost at all because
New.
fresh engine. I hit
Right.
maybe half a pound at one point. But
Sure.
That was it.
Sure.
But the drivability is super good.
Well, that's a plus.
Yeah.
Is the idle recovery okay? Or is it still kind of dipping?
Idle recovery is actually pretty good, like cruising. It's
Uh-huh.
pretty good. It wasn't as bad as like when you heard it.
Yeah.
It's not near as bad as it was. It's
So,
just
so
it's
idle
like-
adaptations are learning a little
I
bit.
think the colder it starts at under operating temp.
I think the Black Mirror is funny.
I didn't notice that when I was watching. I was like, why are they black?
Did they come that way?
Yeah, it's like a special edition car, and it's all white. And they put
The series white with black mirrors?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of weird.
The Panda.
Yeah, I'm not sure I dig it. I mean, the white car looks cool, but then the mirrors look like somebody went by Spalding's and grabbed some mirrors off another car because they knocked theirs off trying to squeeze between two trees in their yard or something. I use that example very specifically because I had a girlfriend who borrowed my car, and she was older than I was. She was 29 and I was 22 or 23. And for some reason, she was really, really, really bugged by the fact that she was like 6 whole years older than I was. And she was borrowing my car because hers got fucking totaled or some shit. And then her mom was coming over, and she was embarrassed by having my car there. And so she tried to drive it into her backyard and squeeze between her tree, or her house and a tree. And that's when I learned that Ford Escorts are wider in front than they are in the back, because it squished the front of the car, but not the back of the car. What a dumb bitch. She was dumb. No gag reflex though, so that had its fucking advantages, let me tell you. But yeah, what a dumb broad. Squished my car because she was embarrassed that she was dating a younger guy. See all the life stories you get just listening to my stream. Well, my phone is low on battery, and it was at 60% when I started. So this phone sucks. That's a no-go in the future. How did this battery die from 60 to 15% in just 20 minutes? I'll never know. It's a new car, 4,300-ish miles on it. And we had to put a motor in it, unfortunately. But dumb free mount. It's got a front mount, right?
Cobb front mount, yes, sir.
Cobb front mount.
Yeah, look at that.
Is it the black one?
Yeah.
V350. What's a V350? I don't know what that is. Ford lithium cell. It's an LG phone. Sucks my ass. Well, it's not bad. It's really clean.
Pretty good, yeah.
I hate all the pipes.
This
I hate all the pipes. I just hate it. That's one thing I hate about front mounts,
The
especially
cob
on
kit,
stock
though.
location turbos.
The
I
cob
mean, the
kit.
cob location fits perfect.
The cob kit fits
Yeah,
perfect. I love it how it fit. It
the
was
cob
like,
kit always fits perfect.
I didn't even have to cut the bumper. I had to cut. The liner. I had to cut a little half moon in it to fit that pipe, and that was it.
That's it.
That was
Bumper
it.
fits and everything.
Bumper fit perfect, no cutting.
Yeah, cob shit always fits really, really good. I enjoy their products.
Me too.
I just fucking hate stock location turbos and all the fuckery that they create. That's ugly. This pipe right here. Wow. Yeah, that I hate it. I hate it.
At least you did it the right way. This one doesn't come this way, and then this one does this number.
Yeah, the cross is kind of dumb too. But it's not Cobb's fault. I just hate that where this turbo sits in this car. Want some low mount action? I need to make an EJ low mount kit that works really well. There's a couple on the market that work okay, but one that works awesome, I think, would be pretty sweet. I want to do a low mount with like no oil pan. One of the things that I've learned over the years is that the more volume you have in your exhaust between the engine and the turbo, the more lag you got. And so, what the fuck? Oh, I'm not sure why you're asking me about that. Like, do you want me to go find you one or something? Availability of the V350 EVCS for GDWRX. It's not on the website. Yeah, I also, in regards to that, an off-the-shelf map for an EBCS doesn't make sense because so many of them behave differently. Different EBCS has different characteristics, so it can't be for a generic EBCS. It has to be for a specific one. So maybe that's why they pulled it, because people weren't using the right EBCS. I don't know. But yeah, there's no shelf map for that. And there's really no point. I don't know why you'd even put electric booster on the stock turbo on WRX. Yeah, I don't know. But like, if you're on stock turbo, why would you even use one? That makes no sense. Throw it away. Put the stock one back on. There's absolutely no gain to a booster cell solenoid on a stock car. People say, "Oh, a booster solenoid would give you faster spool or some other shit." They're wrong. They're liars. Only a moron thinks an EBCS on a stock turbo provides you any benefit whatsoever. Oh, I know it does. Oh, it lowers wastegate duty cycle by 50%. That's not a fucking benefit. That's a loss. That's a loss in resolution by 50%. Like, there's no benefit to an EBCS on a stock turbo. Ever. The only time you even need one is if you do an external wastegate. But other than that, no gain. It's all marketing bullshit. They want easy, as a lot of guys in the industry call it, low-hanging fruit, right? An intake. An intake is super easy, so they'll make an intake. And then like K&N will put that fucking little metal plate inside of it to try and get the air-fuel ratios to be somewhat okay. And they take their 3-inch inlet and they make it a 2-inch inlet because they couldn't get the MAF curve quite right. And it would throw check engine lights without a tune. And then you have just an absolute dog shit fucking aftermarket intake. But it's low-hanging fruit. It's easy to get. It's easy to mod. People can just plug it in and go on. So they're like, oh, I can make money on this low-hanging fruit shit. And so that's what they do. And then you have all these intakes on the market. Most of them don't even do anything good. And then, but it's easy to do. So they get clean on that shit. Boost control solenoid. Hey, I can make this one valve work on 20 platforms. Low-hanging fruit. I'll tell people it lowers wastegate duty cycle by 50%. Like, that's a fucking advantage. Well, it ain't, but it's just that low-hanging fruit marketing bullshit. Oh, man, my spool comes in 150 RPM sooner on the third pull after I tried really hard, got everything really hot. Like, shut the fuck up. You're not getting anything out of it. I hold more booster red line. No, you can't. The turbos are already maxed out. Like, it ain't holding more booster red line. So, it's just all marketing gimmicky crap. Now, if you get rid of the internal and you go from the external, then yeah, you absolutely need one because the 2-port can't control an external wastegate. Wife watching external wastegate. That's a wife keeper. And up and dump tube because of you. Yeah. Well, external wastegates are awesome. Now, with an external wastegate, you definitely need EBCS. Like I said, because stock won't do it. But external wastegates are great because they provide you. There's a couple things external wastegates are good for. One of them is the obvious, and that's just impeccable boost control. You know, if it's set up correctly, you have just amazing boost control. The other is you'll get rid of any boost creep issues that like the VFs are known for. A lot of the manufacturers deal with that as well, so they're great for that too. But another benefit people don't realize is when you go to atmosphere, as much as I hate the noise because the angry goat thing is really annoying, is that when that gate opens on an internal gated turbo, it's going around the turbine. So the exhaust is splitting in the turbine housing. I'm plugging my laptop. And then it's coming together in the bell mouth. So there's a source of turbulence there. You separate these flows and you bring them together in the bell mouth. And so there's turbulence there. What you also have, though, is you still have all the exact same amount of exhaust gas traveling down your exhaust pipe. Whereas if you have an external wastegate to atmosphere, you've now reduced the volume of exhaust gas traveling down your exhaust pipe, and in turn, you end up reducing your post-turbine pressures, which would be your back pressure from the muffler side. And that's almost always good for a gain in horsepower. On higher horsepower cars, around the 500 wheel mark, I often see gains of up to 30 wheel by just having an external gate to atmosphere versus recirculating. So it's something. There's definitely advantages to it. I got a text from a friend. You too, bud. You too, man. Miss your face. I'm gonna be running a Cobb 20G. Internally wastegated with a goal of 370-ish. Kind of wishing I would have went with an external wastegate setup. Yeah, so, I mean, you have a turbo that's made to be operated with no back pressure. So in that regard, you won't have to deal with boost creep like VFs do. So you're good in that regard. And the boost control is going to be fine on it, with it like it is. But you're not going to get the power gain that an external to atmosphere gives you. See, I think there's external wastegate sounds like ass. Brady said it sounds so nice. I think it sounds like absolute shit. And an external wastegate on an unequal length header car, it sounds like an angry goat screaming into the muffler of a lawnmower while it's running at 6,000 RPM. I just can't stand the noise. It just hurts my old man ears. Now, if you take that dump pipe and you lengthen it and run like the length of the car to the rear end or something like that, give that nice long tube. That long tube changes the resonance. Then they sound awesome. Then they develop a lower tone, and they sound mean as fuck. So I remember I had one that came off my wastegate, went down the car and dumped out behind the rear seat, behind the passenger seat, basically. And people were like, "Holy shit!" Yes, that Anton mentioned that. But people are always surprised at how awesome it sounded because that longer pipe changed the resonance. But even without, Anton was saying, "Isn't the factory boost control cylinder resonance 10 hertz?" Yes, it is, but it's adjustable. In the program, we change it all the time, and even at 28 hertz, I still don't like it. But yeah, the wastegate chatter that guys get 10 hertz and that kind of stuff. Always 0. Had on stage 1 and stage 2 showed 0. Is there something I should be concerned with? I would be concerned that your right foot's not heavy enough and you're not using it. Rattlesnake sound. Oh, I've never heard it that way. So Jeremy says, for those that can't read the chat, he has a 2020 WX. He never sees any knock on his access port. Always 0 on stage 1 and stage 2. That's something you should be concerned with. That is, I would say you should probably leave your driveway. The fact that a WRX never shows knock, especially an FA, that's fucking baffling. That's pretty crazy. I'm honestly really surprised by that. Maybe you have really good fuel. Oh, the internal wastegates. Yeah, they came right when they start to go. Yeah. I mean, on a 2020, I don't think it'd be a bad sensor. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense because there's two of them on that car. First, the FA uses 2 knock sensors, not just one, so it does it bank to bank. So I don't see that being an issue at all, honestly. That's just really impressive. What fuel do you have? Do you live in the Midwest and you get 93 or East Coast something, or are you in California on California 91? If you're in California 91 and that's the case, something broke. Something's fucking broke. I can't even imagine that being possible. Okay. And so you're on the 93 map or 91 map, or what map are you running? Chicago, huh? You know why they call Chicago the Windy City? Because it blows. 93 both stage. Maybe you can't have one. What do you think about 9-to-1 construction ratio over 2-7? I think my answer is better because it blows. Well, that's good. That's fucking awesome that your car's not showing any knock. I hope it's true. Now, is that just feedback or fine learned, or are you even on the right channel? Like, so, there are other knock channels. You keep monitoring the wrong channel. Like, which one are you monitoring? 9-to-1 compression on an STI. On an EJ257. That is kind of a can of worms. That depends on a lot of stuff. Pump gas, I wouldn't do it. Unless it's forced pistons, then you don't mind a little knock every now and then. Ethanol, I would go higher even. Stock turbo, I definitely wouldn't do it because the back pressure is too fucking high on the stock turbo. Yeah, so lots of back and forth with that one. Could be had. All right, where's the key for this thing? It's push button. All right, there's no key. Not detected. Motherfucker. Oh. This the one? Yep, that's the one. Bloop, bloop. All right, let's see what we got. Fox P2. Is that Jeremiah Fox, by the way? I'm trying to figure out who Fox P2 is. I can't see Jeremiah follow my screen. I don't think he cares that much about me. Well, it's not bad. Did you drive this car today or yesterday? Is that the first time it started today? Is that the first time it started today just now?
No.
When did you start earlier?
When we first opened up.
And how long did it run?
A couple months maybe.
Because that start was perfect. This one just now. Looking at the stuff on the screen was perfect.
Yeah.
But the other one was
there might have been like some water on the O2 possibly from like the priming, I don't know. But like after that first time you heard it, it's been fine. I just wanted to I come over on the map and make sure because you're like I wanted to check it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just wanted to make sure if you'd seen anything.
Spend money, even like air fuels driving and like light throttle has been good.
Because cold start was right on this time.
Yeah.
I don't know how cold it was, like I said.
The corrections aren't too bad either. I mean, like driving.
Yeah.
Maybe -2 or 3.
Okay, well,
so it's like pretty good.
That's stellar. That's where we want it. I was just trying to see if it was lean again on post start, but it was pulling fuel, so
when I very first cold started it, and it's probably because the air pump crap, it was only for 10 seconds. It was like super lean,
Mm-hmm.
and then it kind of like do its weird thing, and then it went
That
back.
was this morning too?
Yeah, and then it was fine. It only did for a few seconds.
So
It didn't do it all the
cold
time.
post start needs more enrichment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like,
And it's on no ethanol right now, or is it on some ethanol?
like 10%, so whatever.
So pump gas. Okay.
Yeah,
All right, I'll look at that.
it's like 10.4.
Let's see what we got. A monitor face feedback knock. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't. And those are off the shelf maps, huh, from Cobb? I like to tune some stuff, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't like tuning a lot of stuff. I'm getting a little burned down on the normal everyday Subarus. I like wild shit or new shit. Just been kind of. I mean, I've been doing Subarus nonstop since freaking 2001. So sometimes you just want a little more fun. I want to set more records again. I want to do some crazy shit. I want to use new stuff and all of that. I get kind of bored with the staged stuff that everyone has, you know. Can I tune diesels? I do. Actually, I do tune diesels. Diesels are fun. They're relatively new format. I've been doing that for a couple of years, so that's kind of fun, at least. Chase's Duramax fucking rips. I tuned his Chevy. I think it rips really good. I drive it around sometimes like, man, this thing drives better than my truck. Yeah, mine drives good, but I really nailed his fuel table in that one, and his turbo table with the 2.8. I haven't done a 2.8 yet. The little guy. See, that'd be something exciting. The little 2.8. That's a cute little thing. Half Duramax. That'd be a lot of fun. Been dust collectors for 5 years. Sick of building the same shit all day, every day. Yeah, man. Well, some people can do that. Like, I have friends that make perfect assembly line workers because they can do the same task over and over again. And each time for them, they try and make that their best and they try and improve it all the time. And I try and do that with all my tunes, but it's just not that, it just isn't the same. You know, some of us, our brains are thinking of new things all the time. I'm always trying to troubleshoot. I'm trying to find, you know, the next fix to a problem somewhere or whatever. And yeah, I just get tired of it. I want to do something new. I want to really stretch my brain, get a different challenge and all that. Let's go to some post art. Let's see what this is doing. First, let's compare it to stock and see how much I changed the post art from stock. So it looks like none. So post art here, none. So there's no post art enrichment from stock. I did do hot restart, just the minimum limit, but that's it. Okay, so that's being said, let's compare that to a different year stock and see if Subaru made any big changes. A little 14 before they went to the VA. See if there's any big changes in the post art that would lead to a hole somewhere. But maybe they compensated with something else. So here we go. Here's some high-speed decay. Look at that, right in that fucking region. They actually added, though, on this car, so that wouldn't be it. How about the spot? They added there, too. Here's a low-speed multiplier. That's just up top. A little bit here. So nowhere other than up top is it. What?
How's the stuff looking?
Oh, I don't know. It looks fine so far.
Sweet.
Did they pull any fuel out? So it's got the same amount in post start that it had from the factory, and from previous years. So it's a warm enrichment though. Let's see what we got here. They even added some of the warm enrichment. Well, I could have done that. I should double check that actually. Let's go back to my stock again. Nope, I didn't add any for that. So pump gas, I left all the enrichments the same. Okay. So for the pump gas, now for ethanol, obviously that's going to be different because it has to be. So you go flex fuel, group B, and then we see that these have larger numbers than they would otherwise. And warm up as well. What the oh, wastegate. I was like, what the hell shape is that? There we go. That's actually a little low. I could use some fuel here. I could use some low and high ethanol. That's not enough. There's not enough warm-up enrichment there, so I definitely did not advance that. And you can see here it's stock, so I neglected to do that. Now, some of this is made up for in speed density. If you're doing speed density over here, and you have your coolant temp compensation, you can do some in here, which I didn't do either, apparently. Because this car's not speed density, this car is math. So that's one thing you got to be careful of. Signed for the package yesterday. Oh shit, is it here? I think he might have. I wasn't here yesterday, so I'll take a look at it. Yeah, Matt. So Matt's got a BMW with a pure 800 and the super pump. We're gonna tune that. It's been a lot of fun. Twin turbo Coyote. I did one a little while ago, actually. It was kind of a jalopy, and I think it was spinning a bearing during the tune. It was getting pretty bad. If I fortunately go cylinder 4 in 2018, I'd be down the path Renee did with his Forester. Yeah, a little bit different. Wife is pregnant, and I asked for a wrestle time, and she told me to go find some lonely chick at the bar. Should I do it? No. I mean, if you did, you don't tell her. Because that is not an invitation. That's an invitation for a divorce. That's what that is. Women say crazy shit when they're pregnant. And usually it's always a trap. So that's a trap. Oh, that's what's going on. My fucking things are sliding. Yeah, that is a fucking trap, man. If I ever heard one. I fell for that trap once. I had a girlfriend tell me, and I'll be honest with you, she was going down somewhere, and I think she was planning on fucking her ex-boyfriend. But she told me, you know that Ramona girl that's been hanging around with us, she really wants to have sex with you. You should just bone her while I'm gone and get it over with. And I was like, okay. And then I did. And I fucked up by telling her that I did. Even though I know she had sex with her ex-boyfriend when she was down there, she held that against me for like a year and shit. So it's always a trap. Even if they do the same thing, it's always a trap. So if you do it, don't tell her. I think that wrestle time should be provided for both parties frequently during a marriage because, well, I mean, I can get my laundry done by somebody else, and I can have my dishes cleaned by somebody else, and I can have my house cleaned by somebody else, but only one person's allowed to provide me the wrestle time according to the marriage agreement. So that shouldn't be something that is held back. Luckily, my current wife feels the same way. All right, so I am going to add a little bit of post art to the high-speed decay when it's colder. So the high-speed decay is an initial enrichment that's used to help establish the fuel film on the port wall. When an engine is cold, two things happen. One, more of the fuel that you inject sticks to the port wall than does when it's warm. Two, the port walls start off dry. In a hot start, they don't always start off dry. But in a cold start, they're almost always dry to start with. So I have to establish a fuel film initially with fuel, and then I have to also maintain that fuel film. And so what that means is that during priming, if you look at like cranking enrichment, for example, let's see, cranking fuel engine pulse width is really high, 150 versus 5 when it's warm. I don't know if you can see that or not. Right? So cranking pulse width is really, really high when it's really cold and really small when it's really warm. Well, I have to establish that fuel film, and I gotta get fuel into the cylinders, and I need enough to get on that port wall too, so that when I hit the go button, it doesn't fire and then just die instantly. I need to fire, saturate the port wall, and provide the engine with fuel. Now, when they're cold, we're lucky in that they can take a little more fuel than they can when they're warm before they misfire. So we're in good enough shape that we can go ahead and be a little generous with it. No, I mean, you can flood a cold engine, obviously, it's very capable, but as you can see here, it is difficult to do with a cranking pulse width that is, in this case, 7 times more of that when it's cold at freezing, and then this case 5 more times above that value, right? So we're talking 35 times more